The pressure is a hammer that never stops striking. It pounds against the reinforced resin-sealed oak of our diving bell, a cage of wood and star metal descending into a realm where light was murdered at the dawn of time. I am Vidar, and my lungs are filled with the alchemist's vapor, a thick, glowing mist that keeps the blood from boiling in the crushing dark. My heart beats a slow, heavy rhythm against my ribs, thump, hiss, matching the rhythmic pulse of the nightmare that looms ahead. We are 400 fathoms deep. The surface is a memory of salt and sun, a world that feels as distant as the halls of Valhalla. Ahead of us, the serpent's spine reveals itself in the flickering glow of our bioluminescent lanterns. It is a shape that mocks the gods. A cable of impossible scale, 5 miles thick and forged from shifting obsidian and pulsating organic tissue. It stretches across the floor of the Atlantic like a tether for the world, a conduit of violet energy drinking the warmth of the ocean's currents to fuel the great siphon in the abyss. It hums. A low, subsonic growl that vibrates through my teeth and makes the marrow of my bones ache with a cold alien fever. Gun-Nora. Release the anchors. We strike the primary nerve cluster. I roar, though my voice is a distorted rasp inside the iron-lined hood of my diving suit. Gun-Nora, her face a mask of sweat and terror behind the thick glass of her visor, slams the release lever. The diving bell groans, its bronze skin weeping under the pressure, as the weighted anchors drop. We drift toward the obsidian wall of the spine. I reach for my weapon, the chain axe. It is a heavy two-handed monstrosity of meteor iron, its edge etched with runes of disruption and tethered to my wrist by a golden chain that crackles with white-blue electricity. The first cable lurker emerges from the folds of the spine's organic tissue. It is a shadow of chrome and translucent flesh, 20 feet of eel-like muscle covered in razor-sharp silver scales. Its head is a cluster of a dozen red eyes that swivel independently, tracking our movement through the silt. It doesn't swim, it flickers through the water, moving with a stuttering grace that defies the weight of the deep. It opens its maw to reveal concentric rings of vibrating glass needles, and a jet of pressurized brine lances toward us, striking the side of our bell. Shields up. Hold the air. I don't wait for the bell to settle. I kick off the bronze hatch and launch myself into the void. The alchemist's vapor in my lungs keeps me from being crushed, but the cold is a physical blade. I am a lone speck of iron in a cathedral of black water. I swing the chain axe in a wide horizontal arc. The meteor iron teeth bite into the lead lurker's side. Crunch. Hiss. Sapphire blood erupts in a blinding cloud, turning the water into an opaque soup of blue ichor. The lurker shrieks, a sound of digital feedback and wet gurgling, and lashes out with its tail. The blow hits my shoulder, the silver scales slicing through my reinforced leather suit like it was wet parchment. I feel the sting of the salt on my raw flesh, but the rage of the north is a hotter fire. I yank the golden chain, pulling the axe head back into my grip, and lunge again. I drive the blade into the creature's central ocular cluster. The discharge of white electricity from the runes fries the lurker's neural network. It spasmed, its red eyes going dark, and it drifted away into the trench, a dead husk of stolen technology. Vidar. To the spine. The pulse is coming. Gun-Nora's voice screams in my ears. The serpent's spine begins to glow. The violet veins within the obsidian are turning a frantic, angry white. The hum rises to a shriek. A thermal vent opens in the cable, releasing a blast of superheated water and toxic gases. I am thrown backward, the turbulence spinning me like a leaf in a storm. My vision swims in a kaleidoscope of blue and violet fire. Through the haze, I see the guardians of the nerve. They are smaller than the lurkers but far more lethal. 6-limbed constructs of glass and chitin, their bodies glowing with an internal cyan fire. They swarm the section of the spine we came to sever, their limbs ending in high-speed saw blades that hum with the frequency of the deep. They are repairing the damage I've done, their needles stitching the obsidian back together with strands of liquid silver. Not today. I anchor my boots into the organic folds of the spine. I swing the chain axe again, but this time I let the chain out to its full length. I become a whirlwind of meteor iron and electricity. The axe head clears a path through the swarm, shattering the glass carapaces of the guardians. Each strike sends a spray of white sparks and gray lubricant into the water. I am no longer a man, I am a force of the tide, a scavenger of the stars, hacking at the umbilical cord of a god. I reach the primary nerve cluster, a pulsing, translucent dome of violet light. Inside I can see the energy eels, thousands of them, swimming in a frantic circle, generating the power that the siphon demands. I raise the axe for the final blow. A guardian catches my leg, its saw blade biting into my calf. I roar in pain, kicking the machine's head until its dome shatters, but 3 more are on me. They are pinning my arms, their needles searching for the gaps in my armor. Gun Nora. The Thunderbolt. Fire it now. The diving bell, hovering 50 feet away, tilts its forward ballista. A bolt of pure, unrefined star iron lances through the dark. It doesn't hit me, it hits the nerve dome. The explosion is a soundless erasure of the senses. The star iron reacts with the violet energy of the eels. A supernova of white pressure erupts from the cluster. The guardians are instantly vaporized, their bodies turned into a fine, gray silt. I am thrown against the obsidian wall of the spine, the breath leaving my lungs, the alchemist's vapor turning to a hot, acrid smoke in my throat. The serpent's spine shudders. A massive fissure opens along its 5-mile length. The violet light turns a dying, sickly gray. The hum stops. The silence that follows is more terrifying than the noise. It is the silence of a heart that has stopped beating. The cable begins to uncoil. The tension that held the continents together via alien logic is gone. The spine snaps, the 2 ends whipping through the dark water with enough force to create a localized tsunami. I am caught in the wake. I am dragged upward, the pressure changing too fast, my suit groaning as the air inside tries to expand. I see the diving bell being tossed like a toy, its bronze skin crumpled. I reach out with the golden chain, my fingers numb and frozen, and snag the bell's outer railing just before I am lost to the abyss. We are propelled toward the surface by the massive bubble of gas released from the spine's rupture. It is a violent, chaotic ascent. I am hit by debris, by dead lurkers, by the shards of my own weapon. We break the surface of the North Atlantic like a stone from a sling. The sky is a bruised, stormy gray. The rain is falling in heavy, cold sheets, washing the sapphire ichor from my visor. I pull myself onto the top of the floating diving bell, gasping for the real, salt-smelling air of the world. I look down. The water is churning, a massive whirlpool forming where the serpent's spine had been severed. Then, with a final, deep thump that I feel in the center of my chest, the ocean settles. The violet glow from the depths is gone. The connection is broken. The harvesters have lost their bridge to the north. I look at the golden chain wrapped around my wrist. It is dull now, the electricity spent. My axe is gone, buried in the nerve cluster 400 fathoms below. My body is a map of scars and burns, and my lungs will never truly taste the air the same way again. Gun Nora climbs out of the hatch, her face pale, her eyes staring at the empty horizon. We don't speak. There are no songs for this victory. There are no poets in the crushing dark. We are just 2 scavengers who looked into the eye of the abyss and chose to bite back. The salt is bitter on my lips. The wind is a cold, honest friend. The sea is deep, but for today it is just water. The waves rock the broken bell, a rhythmic, slow movement that feels like the world's own breathing. The wreckage of the star spawn drifts away, sinking back into the dark where it belongs. I close my eyes and let the rain wash me clean, a lone ghost on a bronze shell, waiting for the tide to take us home. The iron is still. The chain is heavy. The spine is broken. The ocean remains, a vast and silent mother that keeps the secrets of the dead. The ripples of the battle fade into the gray expanse of the Atlantic, and the horizon stays empty. We are the masters of the coast, and the dark has lost its tether. The world turns, the water flows, and the silence of the north is the only empire we have left. The end is a long, cold drift into the mist. The fire is out and the salt remains. The deep has closed its eyes.